Eastern Michigan had a long road trip to Colorado and the Air Force Academy last weekend. Wilberforce even longer to compete at Alaska Anchorage. The weather was warmer for both. Each squad returns to the Midwest for a midweek non-conference matchup tonight in Ypsilanti. It is freezing outside, but we expect the action to heat up this evening inside. Welcome aboard to the George Griffin Game Above Center. I'm Brent Palbana, rejoined by Kim Dowis-Brown. Kim, we've got an interesting matchup this evening. Wilberforce, very young, 12 underclassmen on the roster. On the flip side, the Eagles, a preseason pick to finish third in the MAC. They're 2-0 to start the young season in conference play. What do you expect this evening?
From Eastern this evening, I expect them to go out there, put on a show. This is their home. They are going to do big things, and we're not going to sleep on Eastern. They did the same thing last year. They're going to finish strong in the end, and I can't wait to see what they do here tonight.
Who we're keeping an eye on here this evening. Let's start with the visiting Bulldogs and their 5-foot freshman all-arounder, Maya Caines. The coaching staff calls her quiet tenacity.
And that is exactly what she is. She may be a freshman, but she stepped in, stepped up, told the coaches she wanted to do the all-around, could do the all-around, and she is killing it. I can't wait to see what she does here tonight and what the next 4 years holds for her.
On the flip side, we've got the steady Eddie, Kyrie Lowe, the 5-foot senior all-arounder. She finished 4th last weekend at Air Force.
This is Kyrie's time. She has been in the shadows of others, being an underclassman. She is now a senior. This is her time to shine, and I think she's going to do big things this season.
We are just seconds away from getting this meet started. Again, Wilberforce Division III. Taking a look at our format here this evening. Six gymnasts compete per team in each event. The best 5 scores count. And again, a situation with regard to what counts and what doesn't. Overall meet scores, they're not letting you slide this year. Some, again, Eastern never had to worry about that. They had a full docket, both home and away. But for those that didn't, it's forcing everybody to step up. Do you like that? Does that even the playing field, in your opinion?
I think it does. It's just a different system. It's just going to take a lot to get used to, things being different. Every year something changes, but everybody just has to adapt, and I think it's good for it.
All right, buzzer sounds. Let's take a look at the lineups. Eastern will start on the vault. Abby Brushwood, Kyrie Lowe, Gwen Cantu, Janae Daniel, Savannah Dunwoody, and Kendall Lowry. Again, they are having a lighter bars rotation, just 2. The all-arounder Maya Caines and Madison Kelly. I had a chance to talk with the coaching staff for Wilberforce, and in particular Coach Bird, and she said, we're just not there yet.
And that's okay. It's early in the season. It's a young team, and you know it's got to work the kinks out and see what works and what doesn't. And you know it's a long season.
Look, you don't want to put your athletes in a position where they aren't basically at their best to succeed, right? That's your coach's. That's the biggest job for a coach.
Absolutely. You want to just keep your athletes healthy, safe. Safety also is a big thing. If they're not ready to do it, you know what? Give it a couple more weeks and they'll be ready.
All right, let's take a look at a little shimmy there from Abby Brushwood. The more I get a chance to talk to her and watch her, the more impressed I get every week. She's going to lead off the vault for Eastern. Big smile and now locked back in.
And Abby has a huge vault. She's going to do a hand front with a half. And if she gets this block angle, she can really send it right into the rafters.
Deep breath. Concentration makes her approach. Wow.
And that was it.
Yep.
Great vault. A little bit in the leg separation. They'll take a small deduction for that, but other than that, that was a solid start for the Eagles.
And her teammates feel the same way. And you see Coach Volpe and Coach Minnesota there to congratulate her as we move over to the bars. And again, just 2. This is going to be Maya Caines, the freshman all-arounder.
And she is moving very well through this bar routine, bail to toe heck to the high bar. The important thing here on bars is to hit those handstands. Handstand, stuck landing, and swing is what counts. And that is a huge double back dismount for Maya. Just a step forward on that landing, but it was an overall great routine.
Again, gives herself a forced smile. Going to be more reps, the better you get, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And she's still young. She's a freshman. She has so much more to improve on and so much more to gain.
All right, let's take a look at Eastern's all-arounder, senior Kyrie Lowe. Talk about stepping into the huge shoes that were left to be filled by the graduation of Raisa Boris. She hasn't missed a beat.
She has not, and this is Kyrie's time. I was very excited to be here today seeing Kyrie compete. She is in her senior season. She is the leader of this team now, and I've been waiting for it. I knew she had it in her to lead this team, and she's going to show us some awesome gymnastics here tonight, especially here on vault. She has a killer vault. The shape that she is going to show is impeccable.
Alone with her thoughts right now, trying to stay locked in. At this point, when you approach the runway, you leave them alone, don't you? Let them get focused.
Yeah, it just depends on what kind of athlete they are. If they want someone talking to them, if they need time to themselves to contemplate and go over their routine in their head, do their visualization. It just depends. And, you know, Coach Katie's back there probably giving her some words, shaking a little.
She's shimmying herself.
Shimmy. She's got those shiny shoulders with those sparkles, gotta shimmy. But I think Kyrie's she's done this so many times. She knows what she's supposed to do, and she's just gonna focus in.
Lauren Volpe, assistant coach, giving her a word of advice, and now it's time to vault.
Here we go. Kyrie's gonna do Yurchenko layout half. A little low on that landing. That is under-rotated a bit, so the judges will take a deduction because she potentially could have sat it down, but she pushed right through those legs. I just think she just didn't get the nice block angle that she normally gets, but overall, nice start for the Eagles.
Well, when you talk about landing, we can break down the vault over the course of this meet. You and I were somewhat kind of joking about it during warm-ups, but there's multiple phases to it. You got the first flight, you've got the repulsion, you got second flight, and then everybody obviously thinks about the landing. Are you going to stick it? But the little things, do you have sufficient distance from the table, squatting, things of that nature? How much adds up or doesn't add up?
There is a lot that goes into a 20-second vault, and as you said, pre-flight, form, block, landing. There is small little deductions that can be taken, dynamics, amplitude. Are they traveling to the left or to the right? Are they too close to the table? Are they too far from the table? And then, you know, as you said, the stuck landing, everybody's looking for that stick, but if you're under-rotated or over-rotated, those are still deductions that are going to be incurred. Plus, always got to have those straight legs and pointed toes.
We'll go back to the bars. This is going to be the only other performer for Wilberforce tonight, Madison Kelly.
And I really like Madison. She is a bar swinger. She is one of the athletes on this team that can really swing those bars. Beautiful form, legs are together on everything. Gearing up for her dismount here. Nice, almost hit that handstand. Let's see if she can get this double back around and stick the landing. The slightest of steps forward, but that was a nice, solid routine from Madison.
Back to the vault, Gwen Cantu. Oh my! The smile says it all.
And you know what? That was pretty awesome of Gwen, because there's a photographer taking photos and had a flash on, and she kept that composure not to see that flash, and nailed that Yurchenko full.
She knew it too.
She absolutely did. That was a exceptional start for Gwen.
I joked with the coaches and said, who's the biggest personality on the roster? And without hesitating, it was Gwen Cantu.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. She is a personality all of her own.
Let's go back to the bars. And the last performance there was only two. Madison Kelly, and she had a tremendous finish here and sticks this landing. Break it down for us.
Sky-high dismount, double tuck, just the slightest step, but her teammates loved it. That's Diamond Cook right there, going crazy for her teammate. It's an exciting moment. They get excited for each other. They put a lot of hard work into these skills each and every day, so when one person sticks, they all stick.
So with that said, Wilberforce is done with the bars.
They are done with the bars.
So our focus now strictly on Eastern and the vault.
Absolutely. Nice Yurchenko full from Savannah.
A little bit of a step on the landing.
Just the slightest step back. Now, I couldn't see that, but the slightest step back. But she held great shape in the air, had nice amplitude. This should pull in a good score.
So you see the scores already for the first three vaulters for Eastern. Abby Brushwood again, a 9.575. Kyrie Lowe, a 9.4, and then Gwen Cantu stuck a 9.7.
Absolutely.
So we still have Daniel and Landry to perform for Eastern. This is going to be a fairly quicker rotation than usual, again with only 2 performing on the bars for Wilberforce.
And I think we made a slight change in our vault order from what we're showing on the screen, because Janae did not vault before Savannah.
You saw Savannah go. This is Janae.
Yeah, we're going to have Kendall and Georgie. And so Kendall is actually a transfer student. She transferred from Minnesota. She's from Woga Gymnastics. Her coach, Evgeny Marchenko, is actually coach of 2004 Olympic all-around champion Carly Patterson. Nice vault. Nice Yurchenko full. A little bit to the side with that step, but nice form in the air. Good block off the table.
And she's all smiles as she enters the tunnel.
I love the tunnel. I want to run through the tunnel. I think when we're done commentating, I think we need to run through the tunnel. You think they would make the tunnel for us?
They would do it for you. I don't know about me.
Great job, yay.
I'm 6'1". They would have to be on their tiptoes for me to get through.
You got to bend down a little.
I told you I've been working on my vault.
I know you have.
I got the Yurchenko double back pretty much perfected right now.
I can't wait to see it.
Maybe when I'm not in street clothes.
I told you we could provide you with some leggings, a leotard.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Take a look at Gwen Cantu. Here's where, again, you may be done, and obviously she's got the best score so far of her teammates. You stay involved. You stay engaged, though.
Absolutely. They're there for each other. Gwen may be putting those grips on, but she's on the sidelines cheering and supporting her teammates.
And there you see the rotation back up. Kendall Landry actually was the last one to go, so good. Got to give her props. Got to give her some deserved.
Absolutely. And now we have Georgie Slack. And Georgie comes from us from the UK.
Yep, Great Britain. And boy, did she get aerial.
I was going to say, just like she had to fly across the Great Pond to get here, she flew in that vault. That was huge. And she, you know what? She's tall, 5'7", freshman.
Yep. We'll take a look at it. First European gymnast in Eastern Michigan history.
Absolutely.
The question then becomes, how do you come from Great Britain to Ypsilanti?
By airplane.
Okay. That is obviously the standard answer. But again, it's an international sport, and obviously coaches know coaches, obviously athletes know athletes. Is there any such thing as a true recruiting footprint anymore? It's just who you know and how you can get them on campus.
A little bit, or, you know, there's recruiting people that help, you know, recruit athletes and help, you know, get those athletes out there. The NCSA does that, or, you know what, simply, I want to go to school in America. What are my options? And that's a lot of times how it works.
Got an exhibition here. This is going to be the up-and-coming freshman, Macy Neihart. She is a powerful gymnast.
I absolutely adore Macy. Macy is another one that is 5'7", just super tall. And I love the super tall athletes. Beautiful lines. And here she goes. She's going to do a Yurchenko full. In the tuck position.
Wow.
That is huge. Huge. Needs to squeeze the legs a little bit in the air, but that is huge. And, you know, she's in that exhibition spot to try to eventually break into that lineup, which she might not have trouble doing with that vault.
Again, a very high level or degree of difficulty. But again, as a taller gymnast at 5'7", how much does that make an extra challenge as far as keeping 45, breaking 45, and as you said, obviously keeping your legs tucked together?
It depends. You know, if you have the strength to propel your body up into the air, but events like bars are super beautiful. Events like vault, on the other hand, might end up having to do the tuck full instead of the layout full, just because, you know, that's a lot of leg to move around sometimes, but it just makes it that much more elegant when you're a taller athlete.
So that is going to finish the first rotation for both teams. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, they'll swap ends of the arena. Don't you go anywhere. We're just underway. Back at the George Griffin Game above center, the first rotation for both teams are in the books. Again, Wilberforce only went with 2 on the bars, but 2 solid performances.
Absolutely. They went out there. They may have only had 2, but they hit those 2.
On the flip side, strong performances top to bottom for Eastern on the vault.
Eastern hit the vault. They killed it from number 1 to exhibition spot. Everybody hit a solid vault.
Gwen Cantu, let's take a look at at it. No surprise there. The 9-7.
As she should. That was a tremendous, tremendous vault by Gwen.
Yep. Savannah Dunwoody, Kendra Landry, Abby Brushwood, again, a 9.575. Does that surprise you a little bit?
A little bit. I thought it could have been a little higher, but there were a few issues in the air with form and such, but scores these days are a little different.
And there you saw the Wilberforce, only 2 performers on the bar, so we are off and rolling. They'll switch apparatus as Eastern will move over to the bars and Wilberforce to the vaults. All right, let's see who wore it better. What do they call it? The fit, I believe, is what they call it now. Oh, and there is Coach Bird right there. I promised her we'd get a shot of the kicks. Those sparkling shoes. She is styling this evening.
Fantastic. I'm sorry, you always have to have a sparkly shoe or a shoe, a standout shoe.
Now we're scanning. I know that Coach Minnesota has some. There's Coach Volpe.
Yep.
And she's got black bows on her heels tonight. She normally wears something bedazzled, but she went a little bit cleaner, a little sleeker tonight.
She did. She went elegant with her black
bows. Look
at
that.
I would fall down in those heels, but those are fantastic. And then Coach Higgins, Sam has sparkly shoes on as well, little flats.
And we can't quite get to Coach Minnesota, maybe later.
We'll see
as they move her out behind the bars.
We'll see her shoes when she comes over here by floor.
Oh, how do you spell filler? Balbinot Brown. Absolutely. So, but you're having some fun here. As you see, Wilberforce finishing up. Now, this is about as stylish as I get. You are constantly working your wardrobe. You could come to a different broadcast every night of the week and not wear the same thing twice in a month. But
true.
Do you have a lucky? Now, be honest here. Do you have a lucky outfit, or when you're feeling a little saucy?
Well, I do have my Eastern shoes that I wear when I'm commentating for Eastern. But other than that, I mean, a good pair of leggings. Yeah. I always have to have a good pair of leggings. I like to be comfortable.
Okay. So back on the rails here. Let's talk a little bit about Wilberforce. Again, this is a very young team, as we talked about. 6 freshmen, 6 sophomores. So over half of the roster is underclassmen. Roughly half of them are transfers. Again, Talladega, basically, let's just be honest, had to close their program or cut their program. So double digits transferred to Wilberforce. This is a future program, but in talking with Coach Bird, she goes, I'm still learning talent. I'm still learning personalities. They're learning me. This is a growing process.
And absolutely. This is the second year of the program. You're going to have a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. I know there is 1 or 2 seniors on the team who are, working as great leaders. But yeah, you got a young team, you got a group that's from all different places, and then trying to recruit in. You just got to get into your rhythm and find your pattern and how you want to formulate this team and get to know these athletes. And, with these freshmen over the next 4 years, she'll be able to do it.
On the flip side, you've got a veteran squad with an interesting mix of underclassmen and newbies for Eastern Michigan. What type of, I don't want to say challenges, maybe what opportunities does that present, especially from a coaching standpoint?
I think it just presents opportunities for, veterans to be in the lineup, young athletes to be in the lineup, the underclassmen. You have such a pool to pick from. And honestly, to me, it doesn't really matter if you're a freshman or a senior sometimes, because there are freshmen that come in hungry, ready to go, who have done a lot of competing.
Can you get it done?
And
That's
you get
the bottom line.
And then there are seniors that may compete for their very first time their senior year. You never can tell how the chips are going to fall.
Well, there you take a look at the Eastern Eagles getting ready to chalk up on the bars. It'll be Analia Solorio. You saw her just to the left of Gwen Cantu there. But we'll move over to the vault, and Michaela Clements is scheduled to lead things off for the Bulldogs.
And she was not slated to be in this lineup.
No.
She got herself in during the warm-up, and that happens a lot of the time. She's going to do a piked Sukahara, a piked Suk. Just a little bit of form off the table, bent knees, got to keep those legs straight in that pike. But you know what, for just getting into that lineup today, it's a solid start for the Bulldogs.
There you see the lineup on. We'll take another look at it. There's Clements leading things off for Wilberforce.
A little bit over to the side. And here we are with Analia. She is gorgeous on this event.
Tremendous
the toe
lines.
point, yeah, all the way through. Toe point all the way through. And this is a beautiful routine. Nice bail down to the low bar.
Holding at 92.
Holding that handstand perfectly vertical. And handstands are important. She has hit every handstand.
Can she finish?
And a beautiful double layout. Just that step back. But you know what? You'd rather have a step back than a step forward. So we're going to take it. But that was a gorgeous routine.
Talked with Coach Minnesota before the meet. There's just something about Analia Solorio. There's a presence about her. You notice her. Not just when she's performing, but even when she's practicing. Some athletes just have it.
And she does. She definitely has an air about her, a confidence. You know, when she hits an event or enters a room, it's just like, whew,
yep.
You feel it.
You know she's walked through the door.
You know she's there. And you know who else had that? Ella Shamati. And I've always thought this was going to be our new Ella Shamati, or you know, my comparison, and it truly, truly is.
That is really high praise.
It is, but it's true.
So she has finished up. We'll see what her score is. Let's move back to the vault, and this is going to be Mackenzie Butler.
And she should be doing a Yurchenko pike. She's a sophomore. Let's see how she handles this. A little form in the legs. Again, legs need to be super, super straight, toes pointed. It was not a bad vault. She was in the middle of the table, had good repulsion and block. Just got to clean up that form a little bit, and that just comes with practice and numbers.
So 2 in the books on the vault for Wilberforce. Let's move back over to the bars as we get set for the Eagles and Janae Daniel. And actually, I stand corrected.
Gwen Cantu.
I'm going to go off of the screen instead of the paper that we were given here. So Gwen Cantu, we would have known that had the camera gone to her.
We would have. And after she jumps over the low bar, because that is my favorite. Beautiful height on, oh.
What happened there?
Okay. Well, she had great height on that straddle Jaeger, but going into that low bar, it just seemed like she got stuck. She might have nicked her foot on the bar. It's kind of hard to see. We'll have to get a replay of that, but it's kind of hard to see with, you know, the people in front of us. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she just, thank you. Right? Yeah, she got her feet on the bar, but it just looked like she did not get the normal swing up to get her feet above that low bar. Just a little miscalculation there. But she's going to recover strong. Nice Giants into a double layout, beautiful double layout, rocked that landing. She had something to prove right there. She's like, I'm going to stick this landing, and she did.
That's all you can do is you got a split second to regroup mentally as well as physically.
Yeah, if you fall off the bar or any event, you have 45 seconds to remount the apparatus or you don't get to continue. And so you have to think quick on your toes and get back into it.
So this is Diamond Cook for Wilberforce.
Nice layout, Yurchenko. Beautiful form in the air. That was a solid, solid vault. She really excels on vault and floor exercise. You're going to see an amazing routine from her later, but that was a huge vault for the Bulldogs from Diamond.
Let's take a look at it again.
Nice push off the table. A little pike down. Now that I see the replay, she does pike down a little, but solid, solid start.
Strutting her stuff.
Yeah.
Feeling good about things. That'll send us back over to the bars, and Snai Evans scheduled next for the Eagles.
And there she is, just waiting, getting her last few tidbits.
Chalked up, gathering her thoughts. Coach Minnesota's always there.
Always.
For a word of encouragement as well. I asked Coach Minnesota, I said, what was your pre-performance routine? And she mentioned bars specifically, and she said, I wouldn't look at anybody. Turned her back to everyone, focused on her breathing, envisioned her routine, and then when she was given the okay, she turned and immediately started.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to be in your own zone, your own world there, and collect your thoughts. Sometimes people, you know, they want to dance, they want to talk, they want to be chatty, they want to laugh.
She looks like she's okay with it. There's the psychology of the coaching, right? You got to know, okay, who needs maybe the pre-performance pep talk and who needs to be left alone.
Absolutely. Everybody's different, and everybody definitely needs something different, and a great coach will definitely recognize that and know that how I, do one pre-meet routine with one athlete may not work for the other. And that's something that also just comes with getting to know your athletes.
So this is Kaylee Garner. Are they going to go ahead and give her the okay for the vault? We're still waiting for the bars, and specifically Sinai Evans to get the green light. Are we having maybe an issue with the scoring on the previous performance?
The judges are having a little meeting on the mat to discuss Gwen's score. But I mean, as you will, she did ring herself around the bar.
Yeah.
So they got to figure out what to do with that, because, you start losing points and bonuses and connections. So sometimes they have to meet on the mat and have a little chat.
At the same time, if you're Sinai Evans, you've got to really keep yourself locked in. This is not just a short delay.
No, this is not. And sometimes, in the gym, they do plan for this. They do train for this. So a lot of times you're prepared for it, to have that meeting or, be waiting a little bit longer.
It looked like they were about to put up Cantu's score. I think it said 8-7, but we'll wait and see.
This is like an abnormally long amount of time to wait than normal.
All right, kid, let's see what you got.
Looks like we're getting ready here to go, maybe?
Yes? No?
We don't know.
Maybe now she's ready to go.
And the hands are up. It's time to go.
She's been given the clearance.
Now let's see if this weight impacts her at all. Nice toe hand. Maloney to the high bar, right back through to a pack to her hips. Kind of just pulled in a little bit there. Working through this routine nicely, though, not affecting her. Gearing up for the dismount. This should be a double layout. She took it out a little far, but if you see, she pulled her feet right underneath her. It's a good thing that it didn't shoot her backwards, but that's a veteran move, though, to make that adjustment in the air and be able to pull those feet to find that landing and stay on those feet, because that could have gone forward.
So back to the vault. Kayla Garner.
Yurchenko layout. A little bit of form from start to finish, but a solid vault. She had some nice shape in the air. It looked like she crossed over a little bit on her hurdle, which might have thrown her off a little, but other than that, it's a nice vault for the Bulldogs.
Take a look at it again.
Yep, she kind of does cross over a little bit. Solid body position in the air, just a little bit of that pike down. But it's a good start.
And there you see Gwendolyn Cantu's score on the bars is up. It was an 8.875, so I was only able to see partial or a portion of the scorecard. But Sinai Evans is in the books, and up next, Keely Kohler.
And Keely is an exceptional bar worker. She can swing bars, and you will see that from start to finish. Definitely when she hits those giants gearing up for her dismount, but I love watching Keely do bars, always have.
Kohler, you take a look at her average. And again, a little bit of delay, talking to herself.
Yep, I like her hair. Her hair's cute. She's got little side ponies, back into that big ponytail. I love it. Everyone loves a unique hairstyle.
There's a look at Katie Minnesota, Eastern Michigan's head coach. Been around the block for a while. And her assistants. This is a tight group.
It is. This is a great coaching staff and a great coaching team. And they work so well together. Katie is an amazing, amazing coach, athlete, former athlete, human being. Did you see her hit her splits on the beam in their social medias?
She still got it.
She still can 180-degree middle split. But hey, she was an elite athlete.
And there you take a look at Wilberforce's all-arounder, the freshman Maya Caines trying to stay mentally locked in.
It looks like we're getting ready for Keely to mount bars over here. She saluted the judge and getting ready to go. The last few deep breaths, and here we go. And she has a beautiful toe point, hitting those handstands. taking a little extra swing into that bail. And I noticed she did that at the last meet as well. I don't know if that's a strategic move right now, just until she gets the flow of that routine. But check out this double layout. Oh. Beautiful. And what I love about this double layout of Keeley's is her hips. You can see her hips rise in the flip, and that is what you want to see. Height over the bar.
Color is finished. Here's the freshman, Maya Keynes. Smile. As an incoming freshman, told the coaches, I want the all-around. Now, the coaches still have to give the green light to it, but that's a high vote of confidence.
That absolutely is. She came in hungry and wanting to do the all-around, and she is stepping up to do that, improving each time out. Nice Yurchenko layout, a little bit of pike down there, but this is the solid vault, nice and in the middle. But she's only a freshman. She has lots of room to grow and improve her gymnastics. But starting out in the all-around as a freshman is huge.
So the all-arounder for Eastern is up next on the bars. Kyrie Lowe, as we're taking a look at Maya Keynes, and they're the two all-around competitors tonight.
And here's Kyrie getting her last little tips from Coach Minnesota.
Look, it takes a special mindset to want to do the all-around, but when you are next in line and have to fill the shoes of a Raisa Boris, who did it very well for multiple years here, what's that do to you psychologically? As a coach, look, you don't want your next in line to be chasing ghosts, right? You're not trying to be somebody else, but the best version of yourself. How do you handle that?
I think, she's may not have done the all-around in college a long time, but we grow up doing the all-around. Gymnasts grow up before college always doing the all-around. So a lot of times it's just what you're used to, is being an all-around athlete. But, as college goes, the next in line just keeps stepping up, and you know what's expected of you when you get to that senior place and that senior all-around. And she's jumping over the low bar, because we know how I love that. Beautiful handstand. Nice piked Jaeger, a little close to the bar, but she kept her composure, held her form. She is moving nicely through this routine, and what is great about Kyrie is her form. She has beautiful form, and she's going to do toe front half dismount. Oh. That is incredibly hard, and she does it incredibly well. Just the chest down a little bit on the landing today, but when she hits that dismount, it's exceptional. I love the form, though, throughout the entire routine.
We're going to take a look at the dismount again.
And this is incredibly hard, especially in that pike position, to keep those legs together. Chest down just a little bit, but huge dismount from Kyrie.
So Eastern moving through the bars. Wilberforce about to finish up the vault, and here is Sadara Mayhorn.
And Sadara's going to show us a Yurchenko tucked full. Let's see how she handles it today. Oh.
Almost.
Almost
so
got it.
So close.
I think she might have gotten a little lost in the air, because I think that was supposed to be a tucked full, and she just got a little lost.
And coming down very hard on her chest. You can see her trying to catch her breath. She had a PR last week on this very apparatus, a 9.45.
Yeah, and she did the tuck full last week, and it was exceptional. And so this week just looked like she got a little lost.
She's hopefully going to be okay, but she's probably going to head back to the tunnel and try and recuperate. She landed hard on her chest. So let's go back to the bars, and this is Georgie Slack. And if you want to, you have the green light to go into an accent.
It's Georgie. I just feel like I need to do the accent for Georgie. This is a beautiful routine. She's working well through this routine. Beautiful to Kotchev. I watch a lot of British gymnastics.
Did you bring some fish and chips with you, did you?
I don't like fish, but the chips.
Which are fries.
I know, I love fries. But she's working through this routine nicely, and she's a little bit of a taller athlete.
Yes.
But makes it so much better to watch her swing. Beautiful height on the double tuck.
Oh, stuck it.
The landing. That was a beautiful, beautiful routine. What I love most about her is her height. Her height on bars just makes it that much better. Beautiful swing, beautiful lines, beautiful toe point.
I know we've talked about this before, but as a taller gymnast at 5'7", what are the challenges there on the bars? I know you've talked about it before. I've talked with the likes of, again, Amelie Vanderbeek or an Anna Grace McCullum. They talk about having to pike a bit more.
A little bit, yeah, because the bars only go so wide and so high off the ground. So if you are a taller athlete, you have to straddle a little bit more to avoid that low bar, but yet you still have to pike as well. But when you do that, you can also get a bigger and better tap into your giants or your releases. So it's you know,
6 of one, half dozen the other.
Thank you. But yeah, I couldn't think of what that was, but thank you. That's what you're there for. Get me when I don't got it. But it just makes bars so much more elegant as well. Handstands on top of the bar, release moves can be much more elegant when you are a little bit taller, and it's just eye-catching. I love it.
We have an exhibition here for Wilberforce. I believe this is Jaden Bryant.
Yes, this is.
So one extra on the vault, waiting the green light. Trying to stay loose.
And again, taking a little bit of time to get ready for this. But we're actually watching bars too. Jalen is up on bars for the Eagles in the exhibition spot. Nice, Ginger, a little bit of leg separation there. She's moving through this routine nicely. Just a little bit of form breaks. Nice handstand though, right on top of the bar, that's important. Gearing up for her dismount. Half in, half out. Rocked that landing. Rocked that landing, nice.
Jalen Stetz getting some love from the PA announcer.
Well, it is t-shirt toss day.
True.
And now I think we're almost ready here for vault.
Jaden Bryant going to be the last on this rotation for the Bulldogs. All right, she stepped back, and with the admiration of her teammates, here she comes.
Yurchenko layout, a little bit to the side, but as always, it's good, that exhibition spot, it's good to be in that exhibition spot to get your feet wet, see if you can break into the lineup, see what your score is gonna be. So it's always about gaining experience and gaining those numbers under your belt.
2 rotations in the books. They will rotate floor and beam next. Don't go anywhere. We still got more to come from Ypsilanti. Let's take a look at some second rotation highlights. Eagles on the bars, Bulldogs on the vault. There you see the start to both.
And it's Diamond Cook with a nice layout. Yurchenko for the Bulldogs. And then
Gwen Cantu just had one, and she smiled. She knew
did.
it. She knew it.
She's a trooper, but that's going to make the blooper reel. Beautiful double layout right there from Gwen, though, to cap off that routine after that, mishap. So
you take a look at the results. That's for vault.
That's vault. Vault was great.
Yes. Diamond Cook being the highest performer for Wilberforce. How about Annalena Solorio and Kyrie Lowe, both with solid 9.65s.
You do have Madison Kelly from Wilberforce sneaking in there, and Maya Keynes, our all-arounder.
So they will rotate. Third rotation. Eagles on the beam. Bulldogs on the floor. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the Mid-American Conference standings look like, as we talked about it during our pregame. Eastern Michigan, 3-2 overall, but as you can see, in MAC play, unbeaten at 2-0. Technically tied with Ball State in conference play at 2-0. Central Michigan and Kent State also at 1-0. But this is an Eastern team, along with Ball State, that was a preseason pick to finish third. Were they undervalued, in your opinion?
I think they were, especially after MAC championships and how they finished. You know what? this could be their year. They're looking good, looking solid.
So let's take a look at who will be performing on the beam for Eastern Michigan. Caton Childress was a very interesting mount, followed by Kohler, Neihart, Patterson, Solorio, and Lowe. And then for Wilberforce on the floor, you love Madison Kelly's routine.
I do, and Diamond Cook. You are in for a treat with Madison Kelly's routine and Diamond Cook. They are both entertaining to the max. It'll make you want to get up out of your seat and dance along with them. If you don't hear me talk, it's because I've taken this headset off and I'm busting a move, because that is how fun these floor routines are.
So we are looking forward to it. Everybody finishing the last of their warm-ups. Beam really just solid for Eastern Michigan this year. I asked Coach Minnesota after the Bowling Green meet, I said, is this team, how's it compare? Is it better than last year? She goes, I don't know about better, but it can be. They really could have run away at that Bowling Green meet if they hadn't had a couple miscues on the floor, but they didn't give Bowling Green a chance with such a strong beam routine.
They did not, and you know what? This beam lineup starts out strong and finishes strong, but guess what? There's strength in the middle. It's not like we're going up and down. It's straight across. This lineup, if they hit, it'll be huge.
So we are getting ready for the third rotation. There you take a look at the order. Kelly will start it off on the floor for Wilberforce, and as we mentioned, Childress for Eastern Michigan on the beam.
And watch out for this beam mount.
Last second instructions for the squad.
Taking the last few deep breaths.
Sam just turns and walks away then after that.
I'm done. She did her job, and
did
now
everything I need to.
It's on to Kyrie, and Kyrie's going to pump this group up and get them ready. I wish I could hear what she was saying. I feel like we need a little mic over there.
Well, it seems to be pretty loose, and they are ready to go. All right. Well, would you call this high risk, high reward for Caton Childress?
You know what, I would, because anytime you're going to do a front tuck onto the beam or do anything, you know, not conventional onto the beam, it's unique, which is amazing, and not a lot of people are doing front tucks onto the beam, especially in the MAC, but she does it so well that, you know what, it's a solid start for her and the Eagles. And I've watched her do this mount for a couple years now, and it's so good. Right on the beam. A little bit of bobble in that landing, but
You'll
solid.
Still take it, right?
Well, yeah, she's on the beam.
Hence the name of the apparatus.
Beautiful back handspring layout, step out. A little balance check at the end, and what is important here is to keep moving through the skills. Your beam routine should flow. Beautiful split jumps there. 180 is what you want to see in those jumps.
She had a career high last week at Air Force, a 9.875 on this apparatus.
And that was a beautiful full turn. I know it's a full turn, but full turns are so hard, but so beautiful. Nice round off, 1.5 dismount. And you know what? That is 2 weeks in a row that she has rocked that landing, because she did it last week. That is a great start. She is a great leadoff athlete for the Eagles. You want to start strong, and she did.
So our attention will switch to the other end of the arena, and we will go to the floor and Madison Kelly. And as you heard her say, if Kim stops talking, that means she's ditched her headset and is dancing.
Exactly, because this will make you want to get up and dance. You might even bop a shoulder.
Ha!
It's okay if you do. We can't both take off our headsets, though.
No. One of us will stay aboard and steer the ship.
Okay, good. That'll be you.
Is there music ready? I'm looking over at the table, and is it not queued up? They're having trouble?
So maybe a few technical difficulties.
Oh, and so now we have a bit of a delay. And here we go. We've talked about this before. As an athlete, you're psyched up. You are in the spot that you need to be mentally, and now all of a sudden you've got to stay focused. I don't want to say regroup. That's not the right word, but stay focused. Is that the better term?
It is the better term. I mean, you do want to stay focused, but a lot of times, you know what? They make you walk off the floor so you can just get back over to where your teammates are, over to the side, and just kind of bop around, dance around, or be focused. But you know what? They seem to be having a great time over there. It's not phasing her yet. So I think she's ready. She's prepared. Once that music hits, we're in for a show.
They are working on the speaker now.
You know what? We could just go back to piano by the side of the floor. That was not my day. I will not even say that. CDs. I was a CD or a tape.
Okay.
Cassette tape girl. I have my floor team was
You're
on a
going
cassette
old
tape.
school. You're going old school.
Hey, listen. Back in the day, they had pianists who would come and play. Not my day.
I'm thinking. Oh boy, I'm thinking way back, but Nadia Comaneci.
Yeah, she probably had a pianist.
Well, she did. You remember her music for her floor routine? It was the theme to The Young and the Restless, the soap opera. So when I think of piano, I think of that. But this is why we're filling again, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're good at it.
I'm glad you think so.
I think we're great.
This is really, I hate to say this, we're having fun and we're kind of joking. But right now, if you're Madison Kelly, this is a huge monkey wrench into your plans. Now, they've just given her the thumbs up. And it seems like, yep, she's all right taking the floor. And we're getting ready for what we anticipate to be one banger of a performance.
It will. Do not take your eyes off this routine.
Too legit to quit. And her first tumbling pass is going to come right at us.
She's going to go front tuck through to double pike. Let's see. Beautiful landing. Yes, nice. And then she is just going to get funky with it. Girl, yes.
And that front double pike, according to Coach Bird, she debuted that just for you.
I hope so, because I love a good front through to double anything. And an awesome floor routine. Give me some dance and showmanship. Getting ready, switch leap, switch side. Could have been a little bit cleaner in those leaps, in that switch half to switch leap.
The choreography setting her back, getting ready for her next tumbling pass.
Such a great
There
routine.
you go. She looked down to see. Give yourself that extra half foot.
Last pass, nice double tuck, pulled it out, and now Kantosha. Nice popa down to the ground. Love it.
Stop. Hammer time. There you go.
So fun.
Oh, goodness. So she had to wait, but she made it work.
She nailed it, and I was so enthralled with the dancing that I said the leap pass wrong. It's fine. It was great. Beautiful routine. Love the hype. And here's Keely Collier on beam. Love this mount. She is gorgeous. I love this mount.
You have to have a very strong core to be able to handle that, don't you?
Yeah, you do. To get down there and then get back up, absolutely. She is gorgeous on this event. Beautiful form all the way through the toes. Nice back handspring, lay out to 2 feet. She nailed that in warm-ups, and you know what? I've seen her struggle with it. I've seen her hit it, and when she does hit it, it's exceptional. But she's gonna pull it back together. Nice Sasson to a switch half. Few wobbles and bobbles happening here. She needs to gain her composure and not let it affect her. Blow a kiss to the judge. I love the uniqueness of her routine, and everything just flows so nicely together. 6 go up, but you only count 5 scores. So this potentially could be the score that they drop due to the fall. Getting up for her dismount, back handspring 1.5. A little under rotated, just did not gain the composure after that fall. Some wobbles and bobbles, but made it through the routine.
She got it through it.
Yep. And then I'll just take, going back to the gym, working a few more numbers, and for next time, she will be ready to go.
Absolutely. As they get the mats ready over on the floor. Up next is there you get a good look at Coach Morgan Bird.
And Coach Bird is no stranger to the mat conference. She was a gymnast at Central Michigan. So So no stranger to being here at Eastern Michigan.
Up next, Kaylee Garner, waiting for her opportunity. There you see there, all around her, the freshman Maya Keynes. Trying to stay loose, trying to stay warm. It is a little chilly in the George Griffin Game Above Center tonight.
It is a little chilly in here.
And it looks like everything in place, taped off. And alone with her thoughts.
Yep. And it seems like she's an athlete that just wants to be to herself and taking a moment to herself. Sadara's coming in to give her last few pointers. Sadara seems to be the team leader here with the last few pointers. I've noticed that at a couple other meets that I've watched of theirs, that she is always there giving those words of encouragement. And Sadara is a sophomore, so that's big from, you know, an underclassman, but she is there with those words and hyping her up. So, supportive teammate for sure.
So time to perform.
A little Taylor Swift. All of Wilberforce, all of them have fun routines, entertaining, that you can definitely tell they enjoy and practice the dance elements of these routines.
Well, this is the one rotation where you can show personality, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you can show personality on beam, but floor is really where you can let it go. Nice double pike up on her feet. A little long, but she pulled it out, stayed on those feet. And she is working her way back into that corner for her next tumbling pass.
This one's going to come right at you.
Yep, double tuck. Front through, 2, double tuck. Did not go as she planned. You could kind of see in the front tuck that she maybe lost her footing a little bit or just did not get a good enough punch. So hopefully she is okay from taking that double back.
She appears to be okay.
So she does. But sometimes, you know, you may be okay, but it may hurt a little bit later. And we're moving over to beam. Macy Nyhart, love her.
Again, another tall gymnast.
Yes, but she is absolutely beautiful. And Macy, again, is 5'7". She's taller than me, way taller than me. And I love watching her do her gymnastics. And I have been watching her for many, many years. She is from Capital City Flips. Nice back handspring layout step out. And actually one of her former club mates from Capital City is in the crowd tonight, Annalise Johnson, who is a University of Michigan gymnast. So that is very cool that she's here supporting her teammate just down the road. Nice split to split quarter, a little bit.
Strong toes.
Yes, absolutely. That back leg was a little low, could do a little bit more split in those jumps. You want to have a 180-degree split. That is what the judges are looking for. So let's see how this tuck full dismount. Beautiful stuck, rocked that landing. Great routine. Just a few things to straighten up, some knees and legs. But other than that, beautiful routine for the freshman.
Smiles there as you see the first two scores. Kaiten Childress, a respectable 9.725. Keely Kohler, again an 8.85 after the fall. As we move back to the floor, and let's take a look at the all-arounder, the young freshman, Maya Keynes.
And again, she is improving each week that she goes out. She's been competing all around the whole season so far, week 4. But has been improving each time out. And this will be unique to this. She does have 3 tumbling passes. And the music.
Her music. There it picked back up. Look at that. She didn't miss a beat. Nope. She looked up for a second, but kept going.
Well, you're supposed to keep going. Even if that music stopped, she kept dancing and is going to catch right back up to it. Nice double pike, beautiful solid landing, unfazed by the little music mishap.
Really, you don't see any emotion, do you? You just see focus right now.
Absolutely. She's working through this routine, not letting things bother her, and playing to the crowd. Teammates there giving her words of encouragement before she goes for this next tumbling pass. Front lay, beautiful front layout positions.
She gave herself a little smile.
She did. She was happy with that. Nice switch side popa to popa. Needs to pull her feet up just a little bit more to get that 180 degrees, but she is doing an exceptional job working through this routine. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Teammates cheering on. Should be a double tuck. Just a little bit of energy at that last pass. Nice routine from Maya. Just needs to work the endurance a little bit more so we can make that last pass through. But exceptional routine, they're doing great.
I'm watching her and she's a little gimpy as she's coming off the floor.
Well, her ankle is taped, so that could be something to do with it. Maybe just a little stinger.
So we're back to the beam and Jacqueline Patterson.
Nice backhand swing left. She gained so much height on that series and is so tight. Nice split jump to a split half. That is tricky, but very beautiful. She's hitting those 180-degree split positions, which is so important. Hitch kick to side aerial. Beautiful. Yep. You usually don't see a hitch kick to a side aerial. You see like a cat leap or something else, but that was a beautiful hitch kick. Those simple things that are extremely elegant and beautiful, and she again is a little taller, so it just looks extra long. Getting ready for the dismount. Beautiful pike gainer off the end. She gained so much height and stuck that landing. That was a great routine. That should pull in a huge score.
Let's take a look at it again.
Right here, her hips lift into the air and she can fully rotate all the way around, open up, and spot the ground for that landing to stick it.
She held it and exhale.
Sigh of relief, made it through.
And now she can enjoy the fruits of her labor.
That was a beautiful routine.
So back over to the floor as they get things set up. This is going to be Sanaya Smith. Smith with a personal record last week at Anchorage on this very event with a 9.425.
And this is a great floor routine. She's going to show you an upgraded first tumbling pass from last season. And she does it well. I saw it at the last meet. It looked very good. Let's see what it looks like today. It's exceptionally difficult.
A little bit of a taller gymnast, at least as far as Wilberforce is concerned. You can kind of see that play out in her movements here.
Absolutely. She's going to do front hand spring to a double front full. Nailed it. She did step out of bounds, which is going to be a tense deduction, but you know what? She made that tumbling pass, and it was beautiful.
And you can tell now the smile, a little bit of sassy.
Yep. She's going to really try to get us with this dance. This is a more elegant piece of music. It's like hip-hop ballet is kind of what it reminds me of. Working nicely through, and she does. She has longer appendages and legs for longer movements. Back, cartwheel layout step out. So that is going to tell you that she is doing another front pass because that will fulfill her backward requirement. So
you can see her choreography taking her into position for this pass.
Absolutely.
Seamless.
Front layout to Rudy, and that is what she used to open with last year. So she has upgraded her first pass and moved her first to her second. Giving all the personality to the judges.
You are a little flirt, aren't you, kid?
Beautiful, beautiful routine.
The one thing I noticed there, and again, what the judges look for, I know you've talked about it before too, but do you have to look down? Are you in position when you make those passes? And again, you need to make sure you step back. We saw that earlier. Don't do it if you're out of position. But her choreography seemed a bit more seamless there. It took her into position to pass, and she didn't have to stop.
Correct. Well, your choreography should take you into the corner, into your pass, because if you take steps back because you're too far out of the corner, those are empty steps, and those are deductions. So you want that choreography to take you all the way into the corner, so you do your last dance move in the corner and then start your tumbling pass. But just like beam, floor should flow as well.
So we are back to the beam, and let's take a look at Analia Solorio.
And again, one of my favorite beam workers on this team. She is confident and elegant in this routine.
Elegant was exactly the word that Coach Minnesota used to describe her to me pre-meet.
Aerial back handspring, gorgeous. Exceptionally hard because you're starting your back handspring with the wrong foot in front. Beautiful full turn. She is exuding confidence in this routine. You can see it right there in that dance move. Nice switch leap to a split jump. A little wobble there, but oh.
Saved it.
And she did. Just bend those legs, girl, and you got it. But beautiful. She's taking her splits right to the max, and sometimes that will happen to get your chest down if you're a little over. But she held it together, gearing up for her dismount. Round of double.
Got it.
Round of 1.5. And she stuck her landing.
What we saw there in those two saves was great strength.
It was, because a lot of times when you dump your chest forward and leave your legs straight, you're coming off the beam. But for her, she was not coming off the beam.
So back to the floor. All right, are you going to dance on this one too?
I might. It's Diamond Cook. Yes, girl, I love this routine. She is just a bundle of joy. Nice round of 4.5, punch front lap. So much height on that tumble. And now she's just gonna kill you with her dance and show off this routine. Well, full for her jump, and now the sass comes out and the attitude. I love it. It may be cold in here, but the floor is warm, hot. She is showing off this routine. Last pass, front layout, front full, beautiful. Having fun. Coach is having fun over there, shaking her hips. I love when the coach gets involved. Yep.
And now comes the attitude. This is a perfect example of it's not enough to perform, you've got to dance. You've got to just not go through the moves, you got to perform them.
But this is a full action routine from the tumbling to the dance, jumps and leaps. Showing it off, the judges are loving it.
And a little shush.
And everybody's applauding her.
And I think she knows she did a pretty good job.
She does know. The guy...
And watch this, we're gonna have a replay because she was mugging for the camera as well.
She knew where that camera was gonna be. Oh, she knew. She knew, that girl, she knew where that camera was gonna be.
Good kind of trouble, kid. Good kind of trouble.
Absolutely.
All right, she set a PR, I believe, last week on this event too at a 9.6. Did she maybe set a new one here tonight?
She could have. Her career high is a 9.725 from last season. So this season, we could go higher, I think.
And we just move over to the bar, and Kyrie Lowe could not save it.
She could not. She was a little off to the side on that front toss, but pulling it back together for this back handspring layout step out. Nice switch side. And she is still working the beam and showing off the routine, even though we did have a fall. Beautiful full turn. And I love how she steps out into that little half turn, kind of covering up any wobble that could occur. Round off, 1.5, stuck the landing.
Yes, she does.
So even though we did have that fall, she still finished up strong with her series and her dismount.
So no exhibitions listed on the floor. We do have one, I believe, at least by my paper lineup here. It's going to be Abby Brushwood on the beam for Eastern.
I don't know. It looks like
Or
Janae
not.
is getting
yes,
ready.
it is. All right, so a switch here. That's why we use our eyes as well as our paper and our monitors. Because one of them is bound to be correct.
I think so.
We are keeping it here. The scores now finally coming in a rush for the beam. As you see, Nyhart with a 9.625, Patterson with a very good 9.85, and Soloria with a 9.65. And Janae Daniels is going to be the exhibition on the beam for Eastern.
She's had a little up and down today. She was going to do vault. She wasn't going to do vault. She wasn't going to do beam. She's going to do beam. Girl, you're keeping us on our toes.
Well, that means you got to stay locked in. So Miss Daniel is about to show us a little something on the beam here.
Let's stay locked in, just like their sweatshirts say on the back, locked in. I like that, locked in. And we are locked in.
Yes, we are.
Ready to go.
Kim said she was going to try to replicate the beam routine on the padding just in front of us on press row here. It's about the same width as a beam.
It's a little bigger, a little slanted, but I could definitely get up there and make something happen.
And Janae is ready.
And again, this exhibition spot is always important to test your skills, test what kind of score you would get. See if you can break into a lineup.
Exactly. You want to show the coach something.
Yep. Gearing up for her series here. Back handspring, layout, step out. Slightest arm circle, but solid with the feet. Nice switch half. Moving through the routine with confidence. A little low with the back leg on that split, and the slightest bobble, but working through this routine nicely. Gearing up for her dismount here. Round off 1.5, stuck landing.
And she knows it.
Beautiful. She knows it, the judges know it, the teammates know it.
And now you know it.
And now I know it.
Saw it with your own eyes.
I did, I was here. I was
and
locked
all
in.
Smiles. So a strong finish in the exhibition here. Let's take another look. Janae Daniel, take a bow.
Nice way to finish the beam rotation.
All right, we are through 3 rotations. Everybody's going to catch their breath. They will switch apparatus. It will be Wilberforce on the beam. And how about a little showmanship? The Eagles will move to the floor to wrap up this evening's meet, just waiting for the clock to start. Again, next up for Wilberforce, they're going to stay in MAC competition as Sunday, February 8th, they travel to Bowling Green. So a little bit of a shorter bus trip for them.
A little bit.
On the flip side, Eastern to in-state rival Central Michigan. And that's going to be on February 8th, and I may have said 2. It's actually here.
It is here.
It is here.
They will be here. They are traveling up the street, around the corner.
All right, so with that said, we'll switch for one last rotation. Time for some personality. Yeah, we see. Stick around and you'll see as well. Fourth and final rotation as we welcome you back to the George Gervin game above center. Brent Palvadon alongside Kim Dallas-Brown. This one has not lacked for entertainment tonight, Kim.
It definitely has not. I mean, the gymnastics is amazing as well, but I know I'm highly entertaining. I mean, the gymnastics here in the arena is entertaining. We just left the floor exercise with one high energy set of performances, and we're going to go right back to it with another high-energy set of performances.
Speaking of high energy, let's take a look at some of our third rotation highlights. Eagles on the beam, Wilberforce on the floor, and let's start with Eastern.
And Katniss sticking that dismount, beautiful. Opened the beam rotation with tremendous
gusto. How about that?
That's a great word. I'm just enthralled with the floor. You put the floor video up, and that's what I want to look at. I'm ready to dance again.
And there you take a look at the beam results. Jack Patterson really brought it tonight.
9.85, huge score. That routine is well deserving of that score for sure.
Kate Childress opened with a 9.725. Analia Solorio and Macy Neihart with some strong performances. Kyrie Lowe and had the fall and still finished with a 9.1 on the floor. Diamond Cook, how about that? I asked you if she had better than a 9.6 in her tonight. She did.
She did. 9.7, almost her career high, but that floor routine was killer. I can't wait to continue to watch her on floor throughout the season and see where that score and that routine can go, because all eyes on her on that one.
Let's take a look at Wilberforce as they get set for the beam, and on the horizon, as I mentioned, next Sunday. It is next Sunday, correct? Yes. February 8th at Bowling Green before finally getting to come home. Fisk is going to make the travel up from Nashville, so that's going to be a little bit of a drive along with Greenville. And take a look at that, a ton of MAC teams on the schedule.
They definitely have had a ton of MAC meets, and this team travels a lot. Looking at their stats for the season already, we're in week 5, and they, I think, have had a meet every single week.
Up next for Eastern Michigan after tonight's Central Michigan on February 8th. Then the team that they were preseason picked to finish in a tie for third with at Ball State, at Temple, going to Philadelphia. Maybe they'll swing by the Liberty Bell.
Maybe.
Grab a cheesesteak on the way out for me, please. George Washington on the quad, and then getting ready to wrap it up after that. They've got Towson and Fisk also with that. And then back for the EMU quad that will feature Western Michigan, Illinois State, and I see Wilberforce on the schedule again.
Look at that.
Okay.
We get to see more Diamond Cook floor routine. I'm stoked.
All right, now I think that's a good sign. We're looking at Priya Carley right there, who, again, has had, whether it's been a tumbling pass or just a little bit of a footwork issue, I am counting. I'm going to go out on what I believe is going to be a sturdy limb and say she is going to bring her best floor performance of the season in just a couple minutes. Agree or disagree?
I think she is too. I agree. She is just so much energy, so much hype on floor. Another one, you can't take your eyes off her. You want to watch her.
Yep.
And I'm ready.
Well, she was the anchor. Abby Brushwood, about this time last year, was actually the lead for the floor, and now she is the anchor. If you got Priya Carley and Abby Brushwood as your final two floor, if the meat's on the line, I'm putting my money on Eastern.
Oh, absolutely. Those are two solid performers to have at the end of a lineup. And I believe they showed us that last year as well. They ended up being both of them towards the end of the season. And, you know, don't sleep on Abby Brushwood. She is a performer, a tumbler. She truly is like a silent assassin. It's like she may be a little quiet, but she'll get you. Well,
and she's been in that situation, too, during the Golden Girls meet. Her performance was make or break, and she was solid.
And we have started already over here on the balance beam
Sydney
Smith. And working through her routine nicely so far. A few little balance checks. Side aerial, gripping with those toes right into a split jump to a flutter. Beautiful. Getting ready for her series. Always have to have that series. Backhand swing layout stepper.
Saved it.
Definitely saved it. She pulled it together at the end. She was not coming off that beam.
Can she finish up strong?
Switch leap to a straddle quarter. She seems just a little tentative in some of these movements, but fighting to keep it on the beam. Backhand spring. Gainer full off the side. It kind of looked like her foot just slipped, did not get the good push off of that leg that was on the beam. She does have her ankles heavily taped, so that could have something to do with it, but it just looked like she rushed into that dismount a little bit. But solid overall start for the Bulldogs on beam.
So now we will move to floor. And look at this. Your all-arounder is also going to be your lead for the floor here. As Kyrie Lowe about to finish it up.
I think this is a good spot for her. And I love this routine. It's so sassy. It's like big band meets Chicago. Yep. Nice Rudy to that floaty layout step out. And she knows how to do this routine. She will give you all the faces you need. Having fun with it, playing to the teammates. That was super cool. Round off just like a stag back tuck. I don't remember her doing that last year. There she is with the sassiness in her dance.
Into the corner for her next tumbling pass.
It should be a double pike. Beautiful, just a little bit back on that landing, but solid in the air. Form was legs together, toes pointed. Switch side to straddle to Shishanova. Give me a Shishanova any day. And she's showing off the personality in the dance here. Solid routine from Kyrie. That was a great leadoff routine for the Eagles.
So our focus goes back over to the beam and Wilberforce and the other all-arounder in the arena tonight for the Bulldogs, the freshman Maya Keynes.
And she's getting her last words of encouragement from Coach. A couple more things just to tell her on the beam, you know, build the confidence. I always tell my athletes to be awesome and beautiful. I mean, among other things. But you always got to tell them something, you know, you got to give them the corrections of point your toes, straighten your legs, but you also want to hype up their confidence. I always tell them to, from the smallest level to the oldest level, to go out there and be aggressive, strong, and beautiful.
There you get a good look at the young freshman. Future of the program, one of 6 freshmen. One of
Absolutely.
12 underclassmen on this roster.
Absolutely. They have very few upperclassmen, but the upperclassmen have, you know, transferred in. But this is really, the freshmen and sophomores are really the foundation of this program.
There you saw a big exhale, deep breath, high five from Coach Bird.
And we're getting ready to go.
And now it's yours. Got to own it.
We're just waiting for the score to flash for the athlete before.
Yep, Sydney Smith has yet to receive her score.
But this is really testing the freshman, keeping it together, calm, cool, collected, especially when you're about to mount the balance beam.
And then, did I see an 8.77?
I think you did, but a 9.5 start value, so that has something to do with it.
A little bit lower?
Yeah.
So on the beam and ready to go, Maya Keynes.
Nice full turn, incredibly hard. That full turn can always make or break a beam routine. It's either on or it's off.
Say a little bit of a pause here.
Getting ready for her series. She had a little trouble with it in warm-ups. Front toss, she was trying to connect that together and just dumped her chest down a little bit too low. That should be front toss to back handspring. She struggled with it a little bit in the warm-ups, but ended up nailing it in her last warm-up turn. But I think she was just trying to get that connection a little too hard. Let's see how she handles it this time.
There you go.
And handled it much better. Shoulder just dropped a little bit, but she was gripping with those toes and pulled it back together. Working nicely through this routine, getting ready for her dismount. Oh, no, back tuck. Fooled me. Back tuck flutter jump. She's just a little off after that mishap with her series. But you can definitely see the potential here to have a great routine. She does have great skills in this routine. And back handspring, tuck full, nice landing.
Good recovery.
Good recovery. She recovered, she stayed on the beam. She fought for it all the way to the end. Just gonna take a couple more numbers just to really hone in on those skills. But she is a freshman in an all-around spot, and that is huge.
So 2 in the books on the beam. We'll go back to the floor for Eastern and Sanaya Evans. And you talk about expressive routines.
And this is definitely one of those expressive routines. Great piece of music. Front through to double tuck. And now she's gonna hit some dance moves here. And she is really showing this off, getting into this corner, getting ready for this last tumbling pass.
Boy, on her toes.
Round up 1.5 to a front layout, a little bit to the side. The pass traveled a little to the side the whole time, but recovered nicely. And that was a great routine for Sanaya.
So she's following up a 9.675 from Kyrie Lowe. Savannah Dunwoody waits on deck. We are waiting for a score for Maya Keynes so that Sanaya Smith can get ready for her routine.
And she's, again, getting her last few moments of talk from teammate Sajara and now from Coach Bird.
Oh, both feet in that chalk. Gonna need the grip. So such a thing as too much chalk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is. And actually, there used to be a deduction for excessive use of chalk.
Really?
Yeah, they don't take it. But there is a thing there is a thing as too much chalk. If you get way too much chalk on that beam, it'll get slippery again. So you want just enough, and sometimes you don't want any. We use rosin bags at my gym.
Okay.
No chalk on our beam.
Well, again, it's basically commonplace no matter what rotation. I'm trying to think, and then specifically floor, going back a couple years, Trinity Macy for Eastern used to bathe in chalk before she'd go out and do a routine.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Peace and love, Trinity, wherever you may be.
I last saw her at Pittsburgh.
Really? How's she doing?
Oh, I didn't see her personally.
Ah.
But she went to she was at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
She did her 5th year there.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, it would have been great to see her. I mean, I might know who she is walking down the street. She might not know who I am.
Oh, who doesn't know you?
I know everybody knows me. No, they don't.
She always seemed to be kind of a quiet member on that roster, though. There were plenty of big personalities to go around.
Yeah. And here we go on beam.
Sanaya Smith off and going. She had a 9.425 last weekend at Alaska Anchorage on this rotation.
And she is long and elegant.
Yes.
Right through her fingertips. Just her movements are just a little different than everybody else's. She just extends and accentuates her arms and her legs.
There's a grace to
Yes.
her that, again, as a taller athlete, nice save with one leg.
Just she got that shoulder over to the side just a little bit too much, but she's going to repeat it because this is her acro series, so we have to repeat it. And right into that back handspring, beautiful. when you get off like that, you do have to repeat that series most of the time. Nice split jump to split quarter. Back leg was a little low on the split quarter. Switch leap to a split jump, beautiful. Her movements are effortless.
Very.
Getting ready for the dismount, gainer full. Little slightest pike down, but beautiful.
Pretty solid.
Solid routine.
Yep.
That is will be a good score.
So for Sanaya Smith, allows herself a smile and some high fives from her teammates. We'll move back to the floor, and Savannah Dunwoody will take charge.
And Savannah is a freshman, so we are going to get to see her personality shine through here. I haven't seen it before. You have. Nice front handspring, front full. Beautiful extension in those leaps and splits. Really pushing that 180 degrees.
Of course, the spot in the routine where the music allows for an EMU chant.
I absolutely love when they do that. I love when you can incorporate something of the team, of the school in your routine. Front handspring booty to a layout step out. Beautiful pass. Working through this routine nicely. Just a simple straddle jump. But now we're going to see some personality.
Yep. And catching your breath. How important is it to include spots in your choreography to allow you to get your second wind?
It's very important. Usually it's before the tumbling passes. Your choreographer will actually choreograph breaths into the floor routine or spots to take those breaths. You know, when the choreography is a little slower into the corner or when the rolling on the floor is a little slower, you know that that is the built-in breath breathing spots.
There you saw Coach Volpe again blowing kisses like a good Italian would. Teasing her a little bit, but again, for a freshman, we're looking at the future of the program here tonight.
And we absolutely are. And for the freshmen to be in these lineups, because these are some stacked lineups already, and for the freshmen to break into these lineups is huge, very exciting.
How cool is it? Well, you can see Abby Brushwood, who's the anchor on this rotation, doing jumping jacks and trying to stay moving, trying to stay loose, and just trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it definitely is a little on the chilly side in here today. I didn't want to take my sweatshirt off.
And if I saw the judges' score correctly for the beam score for Sanaya Smith, a 9.45 is about to be flashed up, although we're going to have a convo between both judges. All right. Any idea what this could be about?
It could be a start value discrepancy. I mean, she did have to repeat a skill.
Good point.
Because she did not do her series the first time and had to repeat. And so they're just trying to add it up, make sure she has the right amount of skills to equal the 10.0 start value. And sometimes one judge may see something and one judge may not see something. So you have to, you know, come together on that.
So how intense do those conversations get? Do people dig their heels in, or is it usually a good amount of give and take?
Usually it depends, but usually it's a good amount of give and take, and a lot of the times the meet referee can step in if there is a discrepancy, because the meet ref will also be judging the routines along with the judges, just, you know, back a little farther. But a lot of times, if, you know, one judge is correct, they get the books out and they look at it, or the meet ref steps in. But 9 times out of 10, if you're the head judge usually can, you know, overrides what the other judge says.
So as we wait for things to get sorted out, you can see Savannah Dunwoody's score on the floor there, a 9.65.
Solid score.
And right now, Madison Kelly is just saying, please, anybody?
Just singing and dancing
Yep.
and trying to stay loose here.
Trying to stay warm. It is a little chilly, as we mentioned, inside the arena tonight.
It is.
It's below freezing outside, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't surprise anybody.
So everybody's, you know, I've seen some of the girls with heating pads and, you know, Got to stay warm however you can. Get dressed in between your... I would get dressed in between.
Well, there you take a look at another freshman, Macy Neihart, who, again, has a unique floor routine for being such a powerful gymnast, a powerful tumbler. And we can talk about it a little bit more when it's her turn up in the rotation. But I talked last week at practice with Coach Minnesota, and she said we really wanted to work on finding choreography that fit her, that worked for her. And they think they found a good routine for her.
I'm excited to see it. I am always excited to see what Macy's going to do, especially here in college. I loved her floor routines in club, and she did unique choreography, which I loved, really to accentuate, you know, her tallness.
Her tallness, her height.
Yeah. And I remember her from club being more of a twister than a flipper. So twisting is always a little more elegant on those who are a little taller.
Well, I still see 9.45 about to be turned around, and you're getting a good look at the camera, and I think that score is about to change. I think it's going to increase. The delay might be beneficial for Sanaya Smith. Well, still seeing 9.45, so that was a long way to go for nothing.
That was. And it appears that she still has the 10-0 start value, so... But now
well,
I don't know what's
now
happening.
They're switching the score again and being given finally the go-ahead, mercifully so.
And she stepped right up on the beam. Nice, simple mount.
Madison Kelly, time to do your thing.
Front walkover.
Again, I remember a time where there was no music for the beam.
I don't.
I'm a little older than you.
Nice backhand swing, layout to 2 feet, rock solid on that landing. No, they've all. I mean, there's been some good music happening today on the beam
Absolutely.
playlist. And some schools will pick their own. Some teams will pick their own beam music, what they want to play while they're doing beam, and then the visitors usually just get whatever playlist is provided.
How much are you performing to that, or are you just locked in on what you're doing in that moment?
Well, that all depends. I personally would be performing to the music,
okay.
But I think, you know, most of these athletes block everything out and just concentrate on their beam routine. Nice layout step out. That is incredibly difficult. Standing layout step out. A little balance check on it, but handled it very well. Nice full turn. Yeah, it just depends on what kind of athlete you are. Some people can block it all out. Others will repeat what the announcer is saying. Like, it's insane. It all depends. Backhand spring 2 feet to a 1.5. Now, we haven't seen that in a while, and I thought that was great.
So after the long wait, Madison Kelly shows no ill effects.
No.
And we move back to the floor, a deep breath and a smile to her teammates as another freshman takes the floor, Macy Neihart.
And she will perform this routine. She is someone who shows off her dance, uses her eyes.
Smiles at the coach. She backs her way into the corner for her first tumbling pass.
Huge double tuck.
That's the power that I was talking about.
That is the power. She did go out of bounds, which will be a 10th deduction, but that was a huge double back.
Quickly into the corner, and we're getting ready for another tumbling pass.
Front layout to Rudy. And now we're just gonna dance. We're gonna show you our dance.
This is the choreography that I was trying to tell you about that fits her power.
It absolutely does. This is a powerful piece of music, Turgite to Wolf Full. She just gets extra high on those jumps.
And a third tumbling pass as she's coming right into your living room and right at Coach Minnesota.
1.5 to punch front layout. Beautiful landing. And a great, great way to end this floor routine.
Wow.
Loved it. Loved it.
Just kind of your neighborhood girl routine, right?
It is. It really was. High flying tumbling, high flying jumps, and beautiful dance in between. Absolutely. It's everything you could want in a floor routine.
She seems to enjoy it. Working for the fruits of her labor. Coach Volpe going to come over and say, yeah, absolutely. Take a deep breath and give yourself some credit.
Yeah, she's saying that was awesome. Great job.
I have no idea. Was Analia Solorio acting there? She looked like she was choking. Did she catch a mouthful of chalk?
Maybe. That is not anything. That's
I'm keeping one eye on her, making sure that she's okay.
And I'll keep an eye on the beam.
We've got the beam going with Jaden Bryant.
Yep.
I asked Coach Bird, I said, who's your alpha on the team with so many underclassmen, 6 sophomores, 6 freshmen? If the coaches weren't around, who would step up and run things? And she said, Jaden Bryant.
I could see that. She seems very confident, very sure of herself. Nice series, a little wobble at the end, but you know what? When in doubt, pose it out, and that is just what she did. I think between her and Sadara, they really, you know, and Diamond, they could really run a practice or a meet without the coaches. You know, one is the leader, one is the hype girl, and one is the
showgirl.
Yeah, and the other one will talk to you before your event and get you all ready to go. Coach can take a rest. Have a seat.
Did you hear that, Coach Bird?
They got it.
Sizing up the beam. Now, where are you looking here when you're getting ready for a dismount like this?
Nice punch front full. Well, as you're running, you're looking for the end, but once you punch, you have to look up, so you'll set, go up, and then you want to spot again something over there by the bleachers up for your landing. You always want to make sure you spot, spot, spot.
All right, back to the floor, and here's our 411 stick of dynamite in Priya Carley.
The diva herself.
Yep. And that average is just not indicative of her talent by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely not. Well, it's a long season. It'll just get better and better. She, I think, has springs in her legs, like extra ones right there. Front layout to Rudy. But it's the dance and the faces for me. Girl knows how to get it.
Look at that.
She uses all of her face, eyes, everything. And this is her back. Just a little spring. She got springs in those legs. For a 411, she's all spring. And everybody is getting...
She's got friends in the stands that know the routine.
She absolutely does, but those are also former EMU gymnasts, Gianna Antonio and Ella Shamati and Emma Lewis. So, of course, they know the routine. And here we go, last pass. There we are. Beautiful 180-degree split on both those jumps. And again, she knows where to look. She knows where to perform.
All right, that's what we've been waiting for this season, and she delivered.
Absolutely loved it. What a routine.
So that leaves Abby Brushwood as the anchor for the last of the floor. We move back over to the beam as we are looking at Micah Kelly.
And that was such an interesting mount. I actually have an athlete who does that, and it is incredibly hard to balance yourself on your shoulders. She shows extreme flexibility in that scale that she just performed. She has a confidence about her on this event. Getting ready for her series, back handspring, layout, step out.
Oh.
Just did not get the chest up enough at the end. It just seemed a little slow. But working through this routine nicely. She does have beautiful skills here, and nice extension, nice leap to, just came off the beam. Now that is a 5/10 deduction every time you come off an apparatus. Getting a few words from Coach before she remounts of what to do.
This is the psychological part of coaching right now.
Absolutely, you have to know what to say to her to, get her through the rest of that routine, and what you say to her might be something different than you say to somebody else. And again, she is a freshman also, so freshman in that anchor spot as well can be incredibly difficult.
She recorded a 9-1 last weekend on this, and just struggling. There's a forced smile, and you just saw what Coach Burr did. She said, get back up. Don't wait, get back up.
And get going on it. And sometimes it's better just to jump back up. But that front aerial, it was gorgeous. It just looked like she was a little too close to the end and maybe just didn't have a spot for her foot. But she does have poise and sharpness. I'm really enjoying this routine. Nice back handspring full. I think once she works out the kinks of the routine, this routine is going to score big. Once she gets a little more comfortable.
More reps.
Yep.
There you can see Jaden Bryant's score being put up, the 9.6, best so far of any Bulldog on the beam. And now anchoring up the floor. We talked about where she was last year compared to this year. Abby Brushwood, spotlight's on you, kid. Led the MAC last week with a 9.875 at Air Force at the Quad.
And she has a career high of 9.9, so she definitely is no stranger to hitting this routine. Front layout, Rudy, very high. I could actually see her a little bit over her teammates' heads who are in front of us. So she is someone that definitely shows extreme amplitude on all her leaps and jumps, as well as her tumbling, taking the switch side and popa split right up to that 180, maybe a little even more. But she is full of so much personality.
Yep.
She's kind of like Macy, a lot of personality and big tumbling.
Little flirty.
You can definitely tell that they practice, you know, the routine, the facials, the little parts of the routine that count, the details, the small details.
Next tumbling pass.
Huge double tuck. That is a great way to finish off this routine.
More than solid, young lady. Take a bow. Abby Brushwood, there's a reason she's an anchor on this. You see it, she led this. She was basically the leadoff a season ago, but the coaches have trust in her, and you can see why. She's the anchor this year on the floor.
Absolutely. She moved down the lineup last year and now anchoring the floor as she should, because let me tell you, that routine is one that you want to anchor your lineup.
We are going to have an exhibition on the beam, and I believe this is Mackenzie Butler.
Yes, Mackenzie Butler. She will exhibition. Again, exhibition spot, very important, trying to break up into that lineup, trying to break into it. Just showing what you've got, what your routine could score, and how you handle the pressure.
I don't believe we've got an exhibition on the floor, do we? I'm looking down here.
I don't think so.
We do not.
Seems they're doing their post-meet huddle right there, getting those words of how the meet went.
Wilberforce, as we're looking at Eastern Michigan's team huddling up. They did bring some fans this evening. It's a little bit of a drive, but not too long.
No, they're right there in Ohio, so it's very doable to drive up here. And it's always nice to have your home, you know, your fans from home in the crowd.
They have been road warriors so
have.
far. I don't believe, as we saw on the horizon about 15 minutes or so ago, they're still 2 weeks away from their first home meet, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that is correct. They are a traveling team.
Yep. So here we go with our exhibition. And
Beautiful
Mackenzie Butler.
scale. Nice Y scale. She's showing off her flexibility nicely at the beginning of this routine. Great full turn. And all eyes are on her since she's the only one performing.
Yep.
The Eastern ladies are coming over to watch, show support. Nice backhand. Oh. It was a nice back handspring layout step out. She just got a little rushed at the end. Sometimes you want to make sure you're holding that ending a little longer before you salute.
And there you take a look at it. As Kim mentioned, Eastern has finished their post-meet hype, and they are all cheering on the exhibition right now from Mackenzie Butler. And she couldn't quite save it. Trying to stay locked in and finish strong.
Nice split quarter jump there. And I love that Eastern is over here cheering her on, letting her, give her the support. Nice gainer, full dismount. A nice way to finish off that routine.
Deliberate.
Yeah.
And that will be the last of the performances for both teams, as 4 rotations are now in the books. We are going to have our post-meet show on the other end of this. Get a good look at a camera shot from the upper deck here at the George Gervin Game Above Center. As Eastern versus Wilberforce, D1 versus D3, but don't let that fool you here. Wilberforce, a future team, but really gave a good showing of themselves. And likewise, Eastern, a few tweaks to the lineup depending on the rotation, but all in all, everybody getting an opportunity to shine tonight, Kim.
Absolutely, it was a great meet. Wilberforce came out, showed up, did what they needed to do, got those routines under their belt, hit the floor like nobody else, and then Eastern came out and did the same thing, just did normal. However, threw us for a spin a little bit with some of the lineup changes, but you know what? They did exceptional and closed out the meet.
Let's take a look at our 4th rotation highlights on the beam, and oops-a-daisy, the all-arounder Maya Keynes taking a deep breath, and Eastern doing what they do best, showing some personality on their floor routines. Strongest beam performance of the night for Wilberforce.
And then Priya Carly, our little bouncing diva.
I think she probably would say finally. She put it all together.
It was exceptional.
And look out. Rebecca, I'll be curious to see as there's the all-around Kyrie Lowe.
And Maya Keynes showed improvement again this week. She keeps improving week after week after week, and I want to point that out because that is huge. She's the only one in the all-around, but she is definitely doing her job. And Kyrie Lowe in the spot that she deserves to be, 37.875.
Let's take a look at the vault results. Gwen Cantu, the little rascal, a 9.7.
Huge 9.7 with that Yurchenko full.
Let's go to bars, and Analia Solorio, Ciao Paisana, she and Kyrie Lowe with 9.650s. And again, I think the sky's the limit for Analia Solorio.
I definitely think so as well.
To the beam, Jacqueline Patterson, step up and take a bow. Kaiten Childress hot on her heels, and then Analia Solorio. And how about Macy Nyhart really coming into her own?
Right up in there. And then Jake Bryant with that 9.6 from Wilberforce.
Yep.
Huge routine for the Bulldogs.
And for the floor, Abby Brushwood, 9.85, and Priya Carly, a 9.75. Good to see her get back on her game. Diamond Cook from Wilberforce, you love her routine.
I do, I absolutely do, and I can't wait to see it again. 9.7, amazing score to see her up there in that lineup.
So this one's in the books. What's up next on the schedule? Well, we told you about it earlier, staying in MAC competition, as Wilberforce will be at Bowling Green on Sunday, February the 8th at 2. We will be right back here at the George Gervin Game Above Center on Sunday, February the 8th, an hour earlier, 1 o'clock, as Eastern gets back into MAC play against Central.
Absolutely. Should be a good showdown.
All right, Kim, appreciate you throwing on the headsets. Looking forward. Well, I will not see you on the 8th, but we'll see you following up after that.
We will.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. For Kim Dowse-Brown and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brent Balbinot saying so long from Ypsilanti, where the Eagles knock off Wilberforce in non-conference action. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.